Hey YouTube, this is Enz over here with another Panama City video. Today I am visiting Taboga Island, or as the locals might say, Isla Tabora. And if that's wrong, I'm really sorry that I messed up that name. Anyway, my day started with a taxi ride to this resort over here. I don't remember the name, but it's towards the Amador Causeway and it's got all boats and everything like that. So this is pretty much where you get your ferry from. And that's me over there looking like a bad man, okay? But in all fairness, I was a bit nervous and anxious because obviously I'm going on this cruise by myself and I've got no mates with me, but it was all good. I was planning to make friends, and this is the sailboat, the catamaran that we were gonna use for the trip, operated by a company called Red Cat, and they are also the tour operators. Shout out to them. I think it was a great choice using them to get to Taboga Island. Obviously you can use other operators or you can just go yourself. There were other ferries that locals were using to go to the island, so shout out to them. And what they've done is basically a package of food, drinks, entertainment, some swimming before you get to the island, and then obviously they will drop you off at the island and then you kind of do your own thing, and then you come back basically, and that's pretty much how the tour was. Now, because there's a lot of background music playing, yes, the music was just blaring loud. It was just jams and all kinds of different types of music and just really trying to liven up the place. I can't actually let you hear that music because obviously it's a copyrighting thing, so I'm gonna do a lot of talking, basically trying to just walk you through everything that's going on. The music that you do hear in the background, by the way, is my music, okay? So yeah, no copyright thing over there, but I'll just try and explain what's going on. So it was a nice, lovely day. As you can see, the weather was really nice. The reps from Red Cat, as you can see over here, are just basically just making cocktails all the way through to the island. So you can imagine that it's the dream. The Central American sun, it didn't rain at all, and it was just enough cocktails just coming back and forth. I was quite cool with it. I didn't want to get all excited and just drink my way through the whole trip. I really wanted to savor being outdoor and the nature. And you can see at this point we are passing quite a few small islands. Most of these islands, I believe, are actually uninhabited, which is really nice and cool. So they all sit within that sort of Pacific side of Panama, and it was just really lovely to look at, basically. So what the boat did is it now stopped and anchored on the sort of, I don't know whether it was behind the island or towards the southwest, but it anchored, and pretty much, as you can see, everybody just started jumping in the river and swimming. I didn't at all because just got this phobia against water like that. So I stayed on the boat and I took pictures, and once we were done, the party started, basically. All the stuff that you see over here is pretty much the Red Cat refs just like trying to get everyone to just get into the vibe, lift up the mood, and everyone got into it, basically. Obviously more cocktails, drinks, and yeah, everyone just got a bit lit, basically. I didn't really join in the fun. I was just looking and just chatting to different people and strangers, because I'm a terrible dancer generally, so I just didn't bother myself, didn't want to embarrass myself. But yeah, it was pretty cool at this point. So from here on, we head to Tabora, as you can see over here. Very lovely view, and it's a really small island, and it's got a little small community over there, as you see as we approach. So yeah, you just kind of see it basically as you come through. So beyond this point, once the boat docks at the docking place, I guess, you kind of just walk over this bridge and you pretty much just head into the island, basically, and just find your way. It was really hot on today. I don't know if the pictures you can see or the video clips that you're seeing shows incredibly how hot it was, but it was hot. This is what you call the scorching Central American sun, and I made the mistake. The one day I really needed it, I didn't wear my face cap at all. All right, so there we go. You learn for later. So as you move through the island, at this point, it's really entirely up to you what you want to do. But we were given about 90 minutes to do our own thing around the island. So you do have a number of options. You can just walk around, see the locals and just interact with the community, or you can just go and sit on the beach and just swim if you want to, or find a restaurant to eat, or get some pina coladas, which apparently are the best in this part of Panama. But unfortunately, I didn't try it just because I'm not really into pina coladas at all. Sorry, I'm talking about pina coladas. On your screen, we obviously visited a church, and then obviously walking around, you just basically just transverse the communities, and there's just something really serene about it. It just seems really chilled, laid back. I assume this will be a really good place, maybe perhaps to retire, although I'm not sure how the locals feel about every day thousands and hundreds of tourists just walking through their neighborhoods, taking pictures and just doing really annoying touristy thing. I mean, we were quite respectful. I was quite respectful, and I tried to interact with some of the locals as much as I can, even with my limited Spanish. But for the most part, they seemed really friendly, basically, as everyone just got onto their things. So that's what I did. It's just a lot of walking. And yeah, it does get tiring because depending on what part of the island you are, you can see that the elevation begins to slope quite a bit at an angle. But eventually we got tired, and I just started walking back towards the beach, and that will be my final resting point, basically. They've got the zoo over here, or nature reserve. I didn't go into it, discovered it really late. And these are the huts where you can get your pina coladas. Which again I didn't try because it just takes so long. I mean, look at that. This is the kind of queues that you have to deal with, and each pina colada probably takes about, let's say, 10 minutes to make. And obviously this is where I got my Panama hat eventually. It was much cheaper here than getting it in Casco Viejo, which was more expensive over there. And yes, this is the final resting point of Isla Taboga, the main beach where most of the locals and tourists just hang out. This is the beach, as you can see. It's nothing special. It's not pure white sands, it's quite shingly in all fairness, basically. But it's clear, it was cool, and it was nice to walk in through. There were quite some bits of litter in there, which wasn't really nice, but this is how it looks on the water. As you can see, it's quite murky. Bits of fish over there, so obviously if there's marine life here, then it's definitely clean to a certain extent, in all fairness. But yeah, there was still quite a bit of litter, and I don't know who's responsible for that, whether it's the tourists or the visitors, most likely. But yeah, it is what it is, basically. But either way, it was still nice. And most of the people that you see over here in Sierra are just basically locals that have come from different parts of Panama, I would imagine, to come and visit. Not even foreign tourists. So that's where we were. We spent about probably 30 minutes over here in this part of the beach, and it was back to the catamaran, and it was lunchtime. And my word, this food, as you can see over here, it was all sort of Panamanian food. Visually, I wouldn't say it's up there with the best, but man, it tasted so good, so good. And off we were back to the Amador port, and it was more parties, as you can see, more drinking, more dancing, and yeah, it was pretty lit, basically, for the most part. And yeah, that's why I would recommend, obviously, Red Cat. They did try their best to accommodate us and make you feel welcome, and just make you feel like you got your money's worth for this day cruise. And that's the end of my story, going to Taboga Island.